Previously on The Bill.
I want to know the truth, Ben. How dare you come in here and ask me that?
If your nephews are in danger, we'll get them out.
Where are you going again?
Just a few days in the country.
What's the occasion?
Funeral.
Ben Perkins, I'm arresting you on suspicion of handling stolen goods.
A classic in the pop world.
He was the only resident guest. I don't usually let rooms full time.
Had he been staying here long?
Yeah, since last October. Oh, it was terrible he had to die in such a way. He was quite a character, and he was popular with my locals. Although we didn't know much about him. He seemed a bit of a rogue, was he?
Yeah, but a very likeable one. He made sure of that.
Is this your first time in Stanton Green?
Yeah, just here for the funeral. So is this all he had with him?
Seems like it, yeah.
And who found him?
A farm worker early in the morning. If only the driver who did it had stopped, maybe someone could have helped him. He must have been lying there all night.
And where did this happen?
A road just outside the village. Was he a close friend of yours?
Yeah. And a colleague.
Jay! Bob! Glad to see you're here.
It's good to see you. What's all this then?
Thought a change of image, before it's too late. Nice place?
Yeah.
No one's told me. How did Ted die?
Well, it was a hit and run, apparently.
We have but a short time to live. Like a flower we blossom and then wither. Like a shadow we flee and never stay. In the midst of life we are in death. To whom can we turn for help but to you, Lord, who are justly angered by our sins? Yet Lord God most holy, Lord most mighty, O holy and most merciful Saviour, deliver us from the bitter pain of eternal death. Lord, you know the secrets of our hearts. Hear our prayer, O God most mighty. Spare us, most worthy Judge eternal. At our last hour, let us not fall from you, O holy and merciful Saviour. We have entrusted our brother Edward to God's mercy, and we now commit his body to the ground. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Yeah, the solicitor had this handwritten note Ted had left him. And all it said was, in the event of.
And that's it?
Yeah.
I can probably finish the rest of it. It should have read, in the event of my liver packing up at last.
There's some bank details with the note. It saved enough money to give himself a decent burial.
I always saw Ted as someone who managed to go on forever.
Yeah, me too.
Whatever happened to that private detective job he was doing?
Well, who knows? If a night Ted, he was never going to last.
No. What's all this?
My home from home.
Very nice.
It's spotless in there.
Of course it is.
Hey, you know what he needs there, don't you? Trailer with a little bit of garden on the back.
You're right, I'll arrange it.
Not much of a turnout, was it?
Now, that's what puzzles me. You know, the Ted Royce that we knew, he liked his fun, he liked the big city. He'd have partied all night and every night if he didn't have a job to get back to. Yeah. So how come he ends up dying alone in a place like this? Should we go to the pub?
Yep.
Yeah. Terry, we're going to have to let your brother go. It's no good.
What? If he walks, he goes back to abusing those kids, my nephews. We can't let that happen.
You arrest Ben on suspicion of handling stolen goods without a shred of evidence. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, Let me talk to his solicitor.
That's not going to do any good whatsoever. I'm going to hand this over to CPT, and they will have to deal with it as they see fit.
Wait. We can't let him go home. Back to those kids.
Terry, I was this close to getting out of Bradley what his dad was doing to him. But thanks to you, I didn't. Now, you've already made one big mistake. Don't make another. Go back upstairs and accept that this is out of your hands.
Excuse me. Adela.
Yeah.
I think you've done a great job with all this.
Oh, that's okay. Sometimes I have to make the effort. We don't get that many visitors in Stanton Green.
Now, in the churchyard by the far gate, there was a young woman watching the service. Did you see her?
No, why?
Well, I just wondered if you knew who she was.
No.
The place where the accident happened, what's it called?
Hope Lane.
Have you any idea what Ted was doing there?
No. Especially late at night. When there's nothing there, just a few fields. Even Dr. Brown was surprised.
Who?
The local GP. He was called out to certify Ted's death.
And does he live in the village?
Yes, next to the surgery. I mean, he often comes in here for his lunch. He can't help himself, can he?
Sorry?
All these questions. You're not at work now, you know.
I'm sorry, it's a habit of a lifetime. Can't stop myself.
Hey, your mate used to be a copper. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
I suppose it's one less to worry about.
You and Mr. Force?
Sometimes. What about you?
I did, but I don't miss being shot at.
Tell me about it.
Aren't you Jack still hanging in there, though?
Oh, I don't know about that.
What do you mean? You're not thinking of packing it all in, are you?
Oh, I don't know what I'm thinking at the moment. Too many office politics in the job. Too much backstabbing.
There's always been backstabbing.
Yeah, but this new lot stab you in the front as well. And they smile while they're doing it. I've got this DI called Manson. And I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him. All he thinks about is how he's going to get promoted. I could cheerfully strangle a little runt.
That's one way out of the job.
I could quite fancy this, you know, really. Country life, running a little pub.
Oh, Jack, somehow I can't see you settling down for the rest of your days in some sleepy little village.
Well, I can. But not this one, though. There's something wrong with it.
What do you mean?
Ted. I think something happened to him here.
You're right. He got run over.
Yeah, I know, but I think there's more to it than that. A lot more.
What, you mean like murder?
You're not serious.
I don't know, but I'm going to find out.
This is where it happened?
Somewhere around here, yeah.
Hey, watch it!
This would be a dodgy place to be walking at night.
Yeah, no houses nearby.
There was one up on the hill.
Yeah, there's those two bungalows that we passed back there.
Well, there's a shortage of witnesses. So it's worth asking.
If Ted was walking here, then you see a hit and run makes sense to me.
Well, I'm not satisfied.
Oh, come off it, Jack. I mean, you say it was at night. What chance would he have had?
Well, cars have lights, don't they? He'd have seen it and heard it.
Yeah, but you know what Ted was like. He was always getting into scrapes. He was a walking accident. Oh, yeah.
Could be it, couldn't it?
Any more?
That's it. It's gotta be, hasn't it?
With fondest memories.
Is there a name?
No. Just stay away from me.
I just want to talk with him.
What the hell did you think you were doing?
I'm sorry, I made a mistake.
A mistake? First you accused me of abusing my own boys, and then you arrest me over some dodgy stolen car radio I bought 3 years ago.
No, all right, I know.
One hell of a mistake, Terry.
Well, let's sort it out then.
I don't even want to talk to you.
Ben, I was worried about my nephews, about your sons. What we suffered when we were kids, what Willard did to us, I never want another child to go through that. Maybe that's why I jumped to conclusions here. Maybe that's why I overreacted. Because it still affects the way I think. Don't let him win. Don't let him damage our relationship. Please, don't leave it like this.
What's going on?
Ben and I are just going to have a chat.
You don't have to do this, Ben.
No. I want it.
Nobody in?
No.
Nothing?
Bungalows are all the same. No one heard the accident, no one saw anything. I think everyone's in bed by about 8 o'clock round here, aren't they?
Do you know, I'd give anything for a bit of land like this. I grow my own vegetables. I'd have my run of beans here.
Yeah, all right, stop dreaming. Thought you were happy with your allotment.
Not anymore, Bob. Everything I grow gets nicked.
Well, you said you wanted to sort things out between us. How about an apology?
You're right. I'm sorry, Ben. I'm sorry. I don't know what got into me. I had this idea that you were hurting Bradley and Christopher. And I just can't get this thing Willard out of my head. I'm sorry, mate. You okay? Have a seat. Want a cup of tea?
No. You obviously find it difficult. Maybe you need counselling.
Maybe. It won't go away.
Please try and understand, Lucy, that there were certain things that worried us.
Don't start that again.
Like the pictures in Bradley's school book.
Oh, for God's sake. He's 12. That's what boys of that age do. You should see the graffiti on the school walls.
When we spoke at your home, I got the feeling that there was something that you wanted to tell me.
Silly, really. He won't let me kiss him goodnight. Still, I expect it's all part of growing up. He'll get over it.
Oh, I'm sure he will. Still, I expect Christopher still kisses his mummy goodnight.
No. He's copying Bradley at the moment. Wants to be grown up as well. Right pair. Ben would never do anything to hurt his own kids. Because if he did, I'd be the first to know. Don't you understand that?
Then I look at the life you got, and I'm jealous.
Jealous?
That you've put it all behind you, and I'm stuck with it. How'd you do it?
I don't know.
Don't it get to you?
I don't let it.
How? I think about that stuff that Willard did to us. I get sick to my stomach. How do you block it out?
It's hard.
That's why I know you could never be like that with Bradley and Christopher. I look in your eyes and I see how much love you've got for them. And I know you could never hurt them like that. Could you?
No.
And why do you do it? They're children. They don't deserve it. When you've been with them, what do they say to you? I'm your brother, Ben. You can tell me.
Don't know what you mean. You're talking rubbish.
I know the truth, Ben.
I'd never do that to my sons. Never!
You know, you're no better than him. You're no better than Willard. What's up, Ben? touched a raw nerve.
You're wrong.
Would you object to a doctor giving the boys a medical examination?
Of course I would.
Maybe at least give them the chance to talk to somebody about what's troubling them. Please.
Lucy, Ben's waiting for you outside.
About time.
We've all done it.
I'm going to miss Ted. I know we lived in different worlds, but we always said we'd meet up one day, do a bit of fishing, play some snooker.
He had life sorted. You say live it. Forget about the responsibilities, forget about the routines. Well, not all of them.
Wish I could do that. My life's in one hell of a rut. That never happens to me anymore. I mean, yeah, I know it's nice to spend a bit more time with the missus, but she doesn't say a lot. She's always busy cleaning the house. I don't know why. House doesn't need it. And I make lists.
Lists?
Yeah, lists of things to do, places to go in the camper and things to do. Of course, only we never go anywhere.
It's a bit of a waste of paper then, isn't it?
Look, about Ted. Apparently, he kept himself to himself in this village. But he'd been living here since last October. So somebody must know something about it.
As I said before, an accident is an accident.
Yeah, well, like I said before, I'm not happy about it. And I want to look into it some more.
Are you talking about a private investigation?
Well, if you like, yeah. I've arranged to stay down for a couple more days. Are you with me?
Yeah, of course.
Alec?
I'm in no hurry to get back.
Great. Here's to it.
Cheers.
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 Oh.
You all right?
Yeah. It's always good food I've been having. I'm not used to it these days.
Too many takeaways.
What are they up to? Anything wrong, officer?
Are you the owner of this vehicle, sir?
Yes.
Do you intend to drive it?
No, I intend to sleep in it. Why?
Does the pub landlady know that?
I expect so.
Have you asked her permission?
So what's going on?
Just keep out of it, sir.
No, I won't keep out of it.
It's all right, Jack.
This gentleman is having dinner here as my guest.
Oh, I see. Had a fair bit to drink, have we, sir?
Yes, we have, as a matter of fact. And we're not driving anywhere. So don't pick on him. It's the wrong kind of camper van and the wrong kind of owner. You go find yourself 3 old hippies and bust them.
Oh, sir.
Before you go any further, I'm a police officer. DCI Jack Meadows.
Right, sir. I don't think we need to bother you anymore. You forgot to tell him you were in the Met.
He'd be very pleased about that.
Morning.
You don't sell petrol here, you'll have to look elsewhere.
I don't want any petrol.
I can't do no repairs either, I'm short-staffed. Flaming kid hasn't turned up again.
I don't want any repairs either.
Good. So I've only got one pair of hands.
It's about the hit-and-run accident in Hope Lane.
Don't know nothing about that.
Have you had any locals bring their vehicles in for repairs since?
What kind of repair?
Well, to the front, you know. Broken lamps, broken indicators.
No.
Well, have you seen any of the locals driving around with damage to the front of their cars?
Wouldn't know, never look.
How did you know he was an ex-copper?
Who?
Ted Roach. The man who was killed in Hope Lane.
I heard Adela and some of the others talking about it. Bit pleased with himself, wasn't he? Your mate. Used to see him in the pub. Was a bit flash. Always looking for trouble.
Was he ever in any trouble?
Wouldn't know. Mind you, his sort usually are. Look, just because he was a copper once doesn't mean he could do no wrong. Maybe he deserved what he got.
We meet again, DCI Meadows.
Morning, Sergeant. I wanted to talk to somebody about the hit-and-run accident.
I'm the investigating officer on that case, but I'm afraid the inquest hasn't taken place yet.
Is that because you haven't found a vehicle?
That's right.
You got any witnesses?
No.
I take it you've been looking for witnesses?
Of course.
What about the post-mortem report?
It said he died as a result of primary injuries. Alcohol estimations were obtained. The victim was well over the limit.
Were there any paint flakes, glass fragments in the wounds? Oil marks, damaged clothing?
All been retained for forensic examination, sir.
Do you know Stanton Green well?
I ought to. I live here.
So you know all the local speed merchants and the late-night drink drivers?
I've already said we're still looking for the vehicle involved. Is that all, sir? Only I'm due back on patrol.
Did you know the victim?
I'd seen him in the pub. It'd take a drunk or a raving idiot to wander around those lanes at night. Maybe he was both.
See, it's odd. I can't find anything to connect him with this place. These are very old, see, from when he lived in London. There's addresses and phone numbers here, but there's nothing local. Ah, but there's this.
Valentine's card.
Yeah.
The old reprobate. Please stay.
I suppose it could be something you kept from the old days.
It's in good name.
That's what I thought.
Oh, yes, I remember that. I found it on the doormat first thing in the morning, so I put it on the stair for 10.
When?
Last Valentine's Day. Jen, my barmaid. Thanks, Phil. She thought I'd done it for a joke, and I thought she'd written it.
And did Ted ever mention it?
No, never.
Can't remember the last time I got a Valentine's card.
Oh, well, I'll send you one next year. It'll be a surprise.
Well, I look forward to that.
Jack, is this investigation of yours going to take up all your time? Or do you think you might take 5 minutes out to relax and enjoy yourself?
Well, it depends what's on offer.
How about a nice little walk by the river with me?
Get on.
Good. Right, give me 5 minutes. Oh, Dr. Brand, he's out in the garden having lunch if you want a word with him.
Right, thanks. Dr. Brand.
Yes.
Sorry to trouble you. I'm Jack Meadows.
Oh, I know who you are. And while you're here, this is a village, remember?
Do you mind if I,
Go ahead.
Thanks. It's about Ted Roach.
Oh, yes.
He was one of your patients.
Is this a policeman?
No.
Because I'm not obliged to tell you anything, you realise that?
No, of course not. But apart from being a colleague, he was actually a very good friend. So I'd appreciate any information.
Well, there really isn't any. I certified the poor man dead. And he never came to see me once. That was about a couple of weeks before he died.
And what was wrong with him?
Well, he approached me, here in the pub. Said he'd injured his hand. I said I wasn't prepared to give a consultation in a public house. So he came along to the surgery. It was a dislocated finger. I fixed it.
Did he say what happened?
He said he'd run into a door. Old story. I had a feeling he wasn't fond of doctors.
And was there anything else wrong with him?
No. We're still waiting for his notes to be forwarded from his old address.
All right, well, thanks, Doctor.
There's no one here to take your call right now. Leave a message after the tone. We'll get back to you. Thanks.
Ben, it's Terry. Listen, don't leave it like this. Call me, will you?
This is what I need. A bit of space. An easier life.
You know, I'm toying with the idea of putting in for a transfer to somewhere like this.
Is that what you want?
Well, I know I'm not missing London.
You not think you get bored?
Do you know what my life's like at the moment? I go into work at 7. I don't stop for 14 hours if I'm lucky. By the time I get home, I'm usually too tired to eat my dinner. It's no way to live.
You wouldn't know what to do with yourself if you lived somewhere like this.
Yes, I would. I do what I'm doing now. Go for leisurely walks with attractive women.
Oh, you know all the lines, don't you?
That Valentine's card, you know, it made me think. Ted was a ladies' man.
I gathered that.
Did he try it on with you?
Oh, we tried the charm bit, yeah. He wasn't my type.
Did he have any relationships with people in the village?
Not that I know of.
Do you know how he injured his hand?
No. When did that happen?
A fortnight before he died.
Oh, he had a bit of an argument with some people a few weeks ago.
What people?
Oh, they live locally. They drink in the pub now and then. You know, you say you wouldn't miss your job in London, but ever since you arrived, you've not stopped asking questions. I think you'd find it harder to give up than you imagine.
Hey, do you know something? I haven't had such a good time in years.
Cheers. Now, is there anybody else there coming? I've got a full scrap sheet of paper here of different songs that people can...
You never learn, you...
Anything you like, I'm sure I've got it in there. Come on, don't be shy. Come on, everybody. Who'd like to sing the next song for us? What about you? What sort of music do you like? I've got loads of stuff. Anything...
Oh.
Come on.
Well, it wasn't what I called you in for, but...
Trust me, you got the wrong idea.
The men that Ted had trouble with, they're over there.
Come on, Alec, wake up!
It's a beautiful day.
I think you had a bit more to drink than we did.
Do you come back later?
Yeah.
Give him a chance to sleep it off.
Hello.
Is there something I can do for you?
Mr. Saunders, I'm Jack Meadows. This is Bob Cryer. Would you mind answering a few questions?
About what?
About the victim of the hit and run in Hope Lane.
What's that got to do with us? Are you police officers?
Well, I am, but I'm off duty at the moment.
Now, there's a thing. An off-duty police officer. Do we really have to answer his questions?
Perhaps if you do, they'll go away.
You see, it's Sunday, and we have guests. Shouldn't you be somewhere else, arresting off-duty criminals?
We understand that you had a bit of an argument with the dead man.
We had a bit of a disagreement, yes. He was trying to chat up Fran.
Ted didn't know what he was doing. He was drunk.
He was always drunk. The man was a waster.
What makes you say that?
Well, he looked it. Before you ask, no, I didn't run him over.
I'm sorry about Joel. I liked Ted. Whenever Joel and I went down to the pub, he used to make me laugh. I was so sorry when I heard he died. He was a free spirit.
Yeah, he was.
And you don't get many of those round here.
Did you put the flowers in the lane?
No. That would have meant I cared. It just made me laugh. That's all.
Then why do we join the police force and risk our lives to protect people like that?
Because they pay their taxes and they pay their rates.
We should leave those two on the Coal Lane estate for a weekend. That sort of man.
Yeah.
What's this?
Carl's all right. You?
thinking, pal? Sergeant Monk, where does he live?
Why?
Because I want to talk to him, that's why.
Last house by Lacey's Field.
The number you have dialed has not been recognized. The number you have dialed has not been...
Hello?
Are you looking for someone?
Sergeant Monk. Jack Meadows. I'm a Detective Chief Inspector from the Met. This is Bob Cryer.
Frank's still on duty. He could be anywhere. He sometimes calls by during a shift.
Let me.
Thank you.
And you are?
Faith Monk, I'm his wife.
Mind if I ask you something?
What?
Did you know Ted Roach?
No,
Only I thought I saw you at the funeral the day before yesterday.
not me.
Do you ever go to the Crown pub?
I used to with my husband, yes. But I got tired of the locals.
Oh, thank you.
Shall I tell my husband you were looking for him?
No, that's all right, thank you.
Faith Monk used to come here with her husband, but I haven't seen her for some while. You see, it was her you saw at the funeral.
Yeah. Here, let me do that.
Oh, thanks. Now, I didn't know Faith knew Ted that well.
So what do you think of Frank Monk?
Oh, well, I wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of him. I think he could be dangerous.
He ran me off the road.
Did he? Hey, are you okay?
Yeah. Just a little bit out of condition, that's all. Don't think I'll ever make a driving.
Yeah.
Jack! GP's here. Wants to have a word.
At first, it was thought to be a stomach ulcer, but it was a misdiagnosis. By that time, it was too late for surgery, and he apparently declined chemotherapy. Mind you, that would only have been a delaying treatment.
Cancer? So how long did he have?
Well, if he'd decided to live the life of a saint, perhaps a year, 18 months even.
Ted could never have lived the life of a saint. Not under any condition.
In that case, I'd say no more than 6 months. Probably less.
Ben? Lucy?
So that's why you came here.
Yeah. Ted could never have coped with the sympathy. Wasn't in his nature. He came here to end his days.
Somewhere where he wasn't known.
Ah, but he was known by some people. One in particular. What did that Saunders woman say about him? He made her laugh.
Yeah.
That Monk's wife must have a miserable life with that husband of hers.
Who's that?
The sergeant, you know.
Oh,
Wonder if Ted made her laugh.
Well, she said she doesn't go to the Crown pub anymore.
That's right. And to get to Faith's house, you have to go up Hope Lane.
And that's the lane where Ted's body was found.
It is.
He's not home yet. You should try at the station. They'll know where he is.
Well, actually, we'd like to talk to you, Mrs. Monk.
Me? I've got nothing to say to you.
About Ted Roach. You did know him, didn't you?
I've already told you no.
Yes, on both occasions you didn't take any time to think about it. And most people would if they didn't know the name.
And if you used to go to the Crown, you wouldn't have missed Ted. He was the life and soul of every pub.
All right, yes. I suppose I did see him in there. Why are you asking me all these questions about him?
Because we need to know more about how and why he died. He was our friend.
He was your friend too, wasn't he? Maybe a bit more than a friend.
Of course not. He was just someone I knew at the pub. Now, if you don't mind, I've got a lot of things I could be getting on with.
Did you know that he was terminally ill?
No.
Ah. He only had a few months to live. Look, it's important to us that you tell the truth. We cared about him as much as you obviously did. Did you put the flowers in the lane?
Yeah.
If only I'd known he was ill. I first met him in the Crown when I was waiting to meet Frank. Then it just went on from there. He used to get a taxi over here when Frank was doing late turn. He was such fun. Always made me laugh. Then it had to end.
How did it end?
I had to end it, for the sake of my marriage. I told him this the night he died. He was very upset, and he was very drunk when he left the house. Then the next day I heard what had happened.
What the hell is this?
All right, Frank.
No, it is not all right, Detective Chief Inspector. You're not at the Met now. This happens to be my home. So what did they want to know?
Just calm down, Frank.
All the dirty little details about you and Laughing Boy.
Please, Frank.
We were trying to put all this behind us. And now you come here with your questions.
If I were you, I'd do as your wife suggests. Just calm down. Then perhaps we can talk about you driving a police car in a dangerous and reckless manner. Were you doing the same thing the night he died?
I wish I was. But I was nowhere near Hope Lane that night. You can check.
Sarge, you still in the Stanton Green area?
Yes, Jerry.
We think we might have a lead on the hit and run. Mrs. Fran Saunders. She's waiting for you at Stonebank Cottage, Hope Lane.
Right, on my way.
We're coming with you. And if you give me any more grief, Sergeant, I'll use every contact I've got to make your life very difficult. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Mrs. Saunders.
Hello. Look, there's probably a reasonable explanation for this, but it worries me.
Tell us.
He's my nearest neighbour, and he works for us now and again. But he's not been in recently.
And does he work for anybody else?
Yes, sometimes he works at the garage.
Well, perhaps he's on holiday.
He never goes on holiday. Anyway, he would have told me. He's a bit, well, not simple, just shy. And he's lived on his own since his mother died.
What's his name?
Johnny Mace.
Anyway, I came up here to see if I could find him. I tried knocking, but there was no answer, so I had a look around, see if there was any clues as to where he might be. Which is when I found...
Come on.
Police!
There's some fresh air in here, couldn't you?
Anybody here? Police!
Please don't arrest me! It's not my fault!
Johnny Mace.
Look, I knew you'd come eventually. I'd never hurt anybody.
Is this about the accident in the lane?
Yeah.
And you've been hiding here ever since?
I don't want to go to prison. I don't want to get locked up. Don't you come any closer. Please! Go away!
It's okay. Look, I'm not going to do anything that you don't want me to do. Must have had a hell of a few days here on your own. Worrying. Do you want to tell me what happened?
It was late. I was travelling back from Kent. I've been to see my sister. She lives there. And he stepped out in front of me. He just came from nowhere. Stood there, looking at me. There was nothing I could do. It was as if he wanted to be killed. I could still see his face, staring at me.
Now listen, Johnny. It wasn't your fault.
Of course it was my fault. I was driving the car. It was me that killed him.
Yeah, I know. Now don't worry. Bob, Alec, the man in the lane, was a friend of ours. All right. Now, a few days before the accident, he was given some bad news, and it made him think that it wasn't worth living. So if he hadn't have jumped out in front of your car, he would have jumped out in front of somebody else's. Believe me. Good lad.
Terry?
See you later. Cheers now, bye. There he goes. Back off home, eh, to his lists. Doing nothing. That's what retirement does to some people.
Well, you're doing something. You're going to bike around Europe.
Well, that's the plan. Still a few things to sort out yet. But yeah, I suppose if you've got a dream, you've got to chase it, haven't you?
Yeah, of course.
What are you going to do, Jack?
I don't know.
Now, that boy Mace, he was lucky it was you. Anyone else might have been a different result. You take care of yourself, yeah?
See you, Bob.
Terry, I'm very sorry about what you've been through. And I am well aware of how your personal experiences as a child have been affecting your work. But today you were irresponsible and unprofessional. So, I mean, you work primarily with sex offenders. Now, I can't risk you making the same mistake that you made today on some other case. I strongly urge you to go and see a counsellor.
Yeah, you're right.
I think that you should move out of the Public Protection Unit and go back into CID. I'll talk to the DCI about it in the morning.
There's no need. I've already put in a request myself to move back into CID. You're right. I can't do this job anymore.
I can make you some sandwiches up for your journey back if you like.
Oh, no, it's fine, thanks.
Very quiet. You've got nothing to say if you're not asking questions, have you?
I was thinking, you were right. I would get bored living in a place like this.
I told you. And whatever you say about your job in the Met, it's what keeps you going.
Yeah, I know.
And no matter how hard and tiring and demoralising it can be, it's what I do best. And if I'm honest, I enjoy it.
You know, I sometimes go up to town, do a bit of shopping in Oxford Street. How would you feel if I gave you a call? See if you're free for a bit of lunch.
I'd like that very much.
Right. Come on, you. I've got a pub to run.
Next time on The Bill.
So this might be the last time anyone hears from me, and some people will be relieved about that, like my mum.
This is someone else's sick game, not my daughter's.
Okay, David, say bye-bye.